Alright, let's skip the fluff. Tap subscribe, ding that bell. And let's dive headfirst into the kind of story that grabs you by the collar before TikTok can steal your attention. You might want to top off your coffee because this is one long, breathless spill. No fade-outs, no chapter titles. Just the kind of truth I'd unload at 2 a.m. if we were holed up in a booth at an all-night diner with fries between us and the jukebox playing something heartbreaky. A year ago, two people, let's call them Victor and Lauren, crossed paths thanks to one of those mutual friends who swears they've got a sixth sense for matchmaking. And for once, the friend wasn't wrong. The second Victor laid eyes on Lauren, it was like watching a man fall down a flight of stairs in a three-piece suit. Fast, hard, and with zero dignity. Victor had it all. The pedigree, the money, the lifestyle most people binge-watch on Netflix just to feel something. We're talking trust fund safety net, six-figure finance job, and a deep commitment to doing everything at max volume. No half measures. He came in swinging. 5-star dinners on Fridays where the wine list required a degree to interpret. Spontaneous Napa weekends because the forecast had a little sun emoji. A Tiffany necklace slipped into the lining of her coat pocket on a rainy day. Matinee. Resistance. Feudal. 8 weeks in, her toothbrush was parked in his marble bathroom. By month 3, her clothes filled a walk-in closet that made her old studio look like a closet within a closet. Now, Lauren wasn't some damsel waiting to be swept off her feet. She was co-founder of a scrappy but thriving events startup with her ride-or-die childhood friend, Sam. We're talking tree forts in the summer, prom committee, glue gun centerpieces level history. They called the business Spark and Shout. 2 laptops, 1 battered cargo van, and a reputation for turning beige corporate mixers into Instagram candy. It was starting to click. Repeat clients. Yelp reviews that read like fan mail. Their days were chaos. Helium tanks before breakfast, DJ equipment by noon, and standing ovations by midnight. Victor noticed, sure. The long hours. The constant texts from Sam. But he chalked it up to the hustle. Besides, he had other plans. He was going to propose. And not with a sunset walk and a shaky voice. Whoa. He booked the rooftop of the city's swankiest hotel. Hired a jazz trio. Asked a pastry chef to pipe "Marry Me," Lauren in raspberry glaze across a plate the size of a hubcap. When the ring box cracked open under the string lights, Lauren froze. Oi. Whiplash. Confusion. It was all there, playing bumper cars inside her chest. But saying no felt impossible. Victor ticked all the boxes. Provider, protector, partner. And sure, she liked him. Loved him, maybe. Though the word still felt like someone else's sweater. Warm, but not quite hers yet. So she said yes. Voice trembling more from shock than certainty. The next morning, she and Sam were already on the road. An hour out of town to run a lakeside birthday bash for a client's overachieving 10-year-old. In the chaos of setting up bubble machines and stringing lanterns, she forgot the diamond on her finger was visible. Sam caught the sparkle mid-clipboard handoff. Yeah, she stammered, cheeks going full fire alarm. Victor proposed. Weddings in a couple months. Sam's whole face shifted, like a thunderstorm rolling in sideways. He muttered something about her selling out, abandoning the company, then pivoted to a monologue about Victor. Silver spoon, Wall Street Ken doll, probably tips and eye rolls. Lauren blinked. That wasn't teasing. That was venom. She expected a raised eyebrow, maybe a "you sure this isn't fast?" Instead, she got bile and bitterness. But the birthday dad was already yelling about the karaoke app, so they shoved it down like pros. A few days later, Karen, Victor's mother and queen of tight smiles, invited Lauren on what she called a fun little outing. Translation: covert mother-in-law reconnaissance mission. They wandered HomeGoods comparing plate patterns while Karen probed gently, listening to Lauren vent about Sam. The outburst. The attitude. Karen's nod was polite, but her eyes narrowed. "Sweetheart, you're getting married, and all you can talk about is another man?" Lauren brushed it off. "We're basically siblings." Karen smiled, but that little nugget of suspicion. She delivered it to Victor that night like a hostess bringing out the final course. Victor laughed it off, but the thought lodged deep. 2 days later, unable to shake it, Lauren drove to Sam's place. Have to apologize. Have to prove everyone wrong. He answered the door in paint-splattered joggers, barefoot, grinning like he'd just won a scratch-off. There was champagne on the table, coffee brewing, one mug already waiting for her. She turned down the bubbly, took the coffee. 10 minutes in, Sam blurted it out. I love you. Probably have since we were chasing toads in the 3rd grade. Then he kissed her. First soft, familiar, like a memory sneaking back in. Then deeper, desperate. And for one tiny electric second she let it happen. Then she pulled back like she'd been slapped. Eyes wide, hands shaking. No words. Just movement, out the door, down the hall, into the backseat of a rideshare, while the driver asked if she needed water. She decided not to tell Victor. Not yet. Maybe not ever. She emailed the wedding planner and quietly struck Sam from the guest list. Family complication, she wrote. Long story. She practiced smiling in the mirror until it stopped looking like lying. And then the wedding day came. White chairs by the river. Cotton candy clouds. A string quartet tuning. Victor, pacing in a navy tux like he was trying to hold the universe together with polished shoes and deep breaths. Up the hill, in a bridal suite full of hairspray and nerves, Lauren felt off. Dreadful. Like a diver about to jump into water she wasn't sure had depth. Her bridesmaids giggled it off, pre-wedding jitters. Then the limo rolled down the gravel lane, and Lauren saw him. No suit. No invite. No plan clearly. Just messy hair, wild eyes, and that look, the one that says this is my last shot. And maybe Lauren didn't think. Maybe she stopped thinking. She opened the car door, kicked off her heels, hiked the hem of her dress and ran. Past her stunned bridesmaids. Past the florist shouting about bouquets. Straight into Sam's arms. No words. Just motion. 2 people fleeing something too big to name. They made it as far as the boathouse near the cabins. And they kissed like they'd already burned their bridges and didn't care about the smoke. Victor found them. Mud on his tux. Rage in his blood. One punch, hard enough to split knuckles. Then a single, shattered question. Asterisk, are you kidding me? On our wedding day. Asterisk. Lauren tried to explain, but grief choked out grammar. That night, Victor packed every trace of her into garbage bags. Lipstick. Hair ties. Her vision board still taped halfway. Left them in the building lobby with a post-it that read, "Return to sender." Lauren texted. Old. Left voicemails that cracked halfway through. Victor blocked her before sunrise. Sam thought they'd ride off into the sunset. But reality hit fast. Clients pulled contracts. Their business got dragged on Insta by a caterwaiter who live-streamed the whole runaway bride mess. 20,000 views before noon. Sam, guilt-ridden and wobbling under the pressure, suggested asterisk, taking it slow. Asterisk. Lauren heard that like a door slamming. 3 weeks later, he ended it over diner coffee. The business dissolved in court. She got stuck with the bills and a storage unit full of string lights nobody wanted. She tried once to see Victor. Waited outside his office with a letter. Security walked her out without him even glancing down. Rumor has it he sold the condo, drove the Pacific Coast Highway, and smiled more in Instagram candids than he ever did during their engagement shoot. Lauren ended up in a studio above a laundromat, planning birthday parties for toddlers. Sheet cake. Dollar store piñatas. Some nights she scrolls through old photos. Victor on one side, Sam on the other, her smile so wide it could have fooled the moon. Then the phone dies. The room goes dark. And she remembers. You can't hold 2 hands if both are already clinging to secrets. So tell me, what would you have done? Follow the butterflies. Or shut the door and say your vows. Drop your take in the comments. Smash like so the algorithm knows you're breathing. Share this with anyone standing in front of a mirror, wondering if they're about to make the right choice. Or just the familiar one. Thanks for riding out the long cut. I'll see you in the next one.